spirituality as well as perfect human nature. Q8. How will you implement the rescue work? Actually, the so-called rescue refers here to the salvation of souls. Therefore, Life Genuine is only a revelation and the salvation of souls depends only on yourselves, so the key to accessing Life Genuine lies in your own hands. Q9. How can people enter into Life Genuine? A. Firstly, you need to know and understand Life Genuine. Anybody who wants to enter Life Genuine must ponder over questions of thinking, the universe, time and space, life, spirit and soul, life, humanity, morality, and so on, because it will only possible for you to find your key to Life Genuine when your understanding and perception achieves a certain realm and only your spirit and soul can enter Life Genuine. Q10. Is Life Genuine the only way to be saved? A. No. As long as you trust in and take the way of the greatest creator and possess a perfect human nature, then you will be saved. Life Genuine only guides people to believe in and take the way of the greatest creator. Q11. Why are Life Genuine's articles written in Chinese rather than English? Buddha said, "Your eastern land is in the southern continent of Jambu. The sky is high and the soil is deep with much land but few people. The people are greedy and bloodthirsty. They have become comfortable with rumors and lies, prefer deception and bullying, and lack loyalty, filial piety, benevolence, and righteousness. I have 3 stores of scriptures to instruct them on how to be free from suffering and to deliver all beings from torment." Xie Feng says, your eastern land ignores the 3 stores of scripture. The sky is low and the soil is barren with little land but many people. The people have become ignorant of God and Buddha and of the law and nature. The people are still greedy and bloodthirsty. They remain comfortable with rumors and lies, prefer deception and bullying, and lack loyalty, filial piety, benevolence, and righteousness. I have Life Genuine that can make the dead come back to life and deliver all beings from torment. China is the most populous country with the most serious crisis in the world. If China collapses, then a terrible disaster might encircle the globe. Without any regard to importance or priority, the articles of Life Genuine must be written first in Chinese. Q12. What is meant by to unify all religions into one uniform belief system? To unify all religions into one uniform belief system is an inevitability for the development of human wisdom and spirituality. It neither depends on anyone's will nor does it mean that all religions will be unified into Life Genuine. Rather, it means that the organizations and forms of all religions will disappear. The theoretical basis of Life Genuine is the Bible, the Diamond Sutra, the Quran, and the Tai Te Ching, and our instructors are Jesus, Sakyamuni, Muhammad, Pbuh, and Lao Tzu. Life Genuine also absorbs all the thoughts and spiritual achievements from both antiquity and modernity, both Chinese and foreign. Therefore, Life Genuine contains the spiritual core of the major religions and the wisdom of the gods, Buddha and celestials, and human saints and sages. The only purposes are to instruct people on how to break from the shackles of their souls and to achieve the goal that humanity will establish faith in and take the way of the only greatest creator. This is the meaning of to unify all religions into one uniform belief system. Q13. What kind of faith should people have from the perspective of Life Genuine? The Father, loved by Jesus, Buddha's ancestor, praised by Sakyamuni, Allah, worshipped by the Prophet Muhammad, Pbuh, and the creator of Tao, revered by Lao Tzu. All of the 4 titles of respect refer to the greatest creator, the spirit who should be loved, praised, worshipped, and revered by all people. It is only by adhering to a singular faith that people can have a common direction, and only by having that common direction that they can resolve enmity, cooperate hand in hand, and maintain peace and the ecological balance of the earth. Finally, people will be free from ignorance and fatuity and enjoy real human lives. 生命禅院理念序言 Preface of Life Genuine Values. Fancheng Buddha. Translation edited by Care. As we know, Chanyuan values were born in Chanyuan corpus. In order to understand them, one should read them first, which according to Crane Celestial, is a unique and outstanding book. This description is appropriate, for we all know that nothing happens accidentally. Whether a book or a theoretical system, their birth is never accidental. As people, we are only in direct contact with literal things. Neither the conscious opportunity nor the whole process behind it are things that we can imagine and understand. But there must be sources and provenances behind any literal phenomena. Reading from this angle, the whole text reappears as a lively script in which its characters and events are full of vivid details. It is how archaeologists can recover bits of ancient history through a series of intact excavations. From this perspective, any literal things left in human history are based upon the author's life experiences, the social background at that time, and the uniqueness of his or her consciousness. If you read Chanyuan Corpus in this way, it will all come alive and its soul will jump off of each page. With this attitude, you will complete the entire corpus naturally in one setting and find it to be impeccable. It covers a wide range of subjects that are rarely found in human history and also touches on the depth of cultural context with a background that is unobtainable from any other book that any human culture can match. So, it is no exaggeration to say that Chanyuan Corpus reproduces the development of human history vividly and crystallizes human wisdom from antiquity to modernity. Chanyuan Corpus starts from the birth of the universe, analyzes deeply several documents of major religious sects in human history, and reproduces the original features of all religious scriptures. It traces the entire history of China from ancient times to the present, from historical legends through thousands of years of human development. From this perspective, you can go back and reinterpret any classics, allusions, myths, and historical legends, as they are all alive now and are closely related to the relevance of our lives today, and understand how the contribution of Chanyuan Corpus to mankind is outstanding because it has reached the pinnacle of interpretive wisdom of human history. If we read Chanyuan Corpus closely, we will sense that it leads us to know the greatest creator from the origin of the universe to the space of life, from the motions of macroscopic celestial bodies to those of submicroscopic quarks and strings, and from the great unsolved mysteries of history to the smallest things happening around us every day. It uses life's wisdom chapter and unconventional thinking chapter to interpret the truth of human history, to analyze natural phenomena, and uses the crystallization of human wisdom to trigger sparks of our wisdom. The chapters of humanity and human life and life interpret the origins of people, the levels, truth, and meanings of life, and so much more. From ancient times to the present, from the macroscopic world down to that of the microscopic, it reveals the evolutionary processes of all human life and points out the current situation of human development and the difficulties that will be encountered in its future development. In the preaching chapter and the universe, time and space chapter, it offers detailed explanations of all phenomena in ways that can be understood easily by common people. It also explains in detail the origin of the universe and, through its description, the birth process of the greatest creator. The universe's development is presented in such a way that we can understand correctly what Tao is. It also reveals the unified field of the universe from the dual perspectives of theology and science, and points out the current positions and drawbacks of science. It also reveals the birth of time and space in the universe and guides us to understand the living conditions of the various lives in 36-dimensional space, points out the beautiful developmental trend for mankind, and finds better living spaces for life. Among them, the non-material world will lead mankind to explore unknown realms and open new chapters to further understand the truth and meaning of life and the greatest creator, and to raise our level of life. The chapters on revelation, self-improvement and self-cultivation, celestial cultivation, the attainment of Buddhahood, and the treasures of classical advice guide us on how to understand the truth of life and improve our levels of life. They lead us to experience, step by step, the changes from microscopic life to macroscopic life, from natural phenomena to the essential changes of things, and from the elementary to the intermediate and to the advanced with practical approaches. By these means, we can improve our understanding and gradually make our knowledge advance from the quantitative to the qualitative. This is also the process of training us to achieve enlightenment gradually. These methods are fixed, but their applications are flexible, changeable, and differ from person to person, from low to high, and in orderly manners. The civilization chapter is a new chapter opened for humankind because in the future, people will know the greatest creator and solve the problems of the current processes of human development from their roots. In Chinkuan Celestial's words, we must know our roots and origins, the greatest creator, the origins of the universe, and the operating mechanisms of things from non-existence to existence, so as to work out the game rules of human life and existence to ensure that all lives can share free, happy, and blessed lives bestowed by the greatest creator. As a result, people will live in harmonious and peaceful times when everyone will know the roots of life as being grateful to the greatest creator and cherishing life. Chanyuan corpus covers too much information to cover completely here. To summarize it, the whole corpus impresses us with its extraordinary integrity and strictness in the many chapters of the book which form a coherent whole. As a theoretical system, it is impeccable. The conscious opportunity and process behind such an amazing manuscript is by no means an accidental turning point because a person's time and energy are limited. It is my view that even if one wanted to study such a vast and broad field, it would be difficult even if they were to devote their whole life to it. Otherwise, this fantastic book would have appeared long ago, and we would not have needed to wait until now. We can say that the Chanyuan Corpus is a book from heaven which is written in words, but better than that, it seems to tell you everything and nothing at the same time. Whether you understand it or not depends on your nature. So much for that. Let me talk about what Chanyuan values are according to my understanding. They are the most direct channel to your source of life. They show a path of happiness that the greatest creator and various gods and Buddha have conveyed to mankind through Xiefeng. They bring our sight closer to the roots of the universe which seem far away from us. They uncover the veil of space, time, and the non-material world. They combine religion with science organically and make great contributions to the scientific establishment of the unification of the universe. They help us to interpret the meaning of life, from its origin to its transmigrations, and from its level to the improvement of its quality. They reveal the universe's true consciousness, structure, and energy, and allow us to break down our barriers of consciousness to recognize and connect with its source directly. They help us to understand that it is the obligation of every life to maintain a stable and harmonious universe, understand the meaning of human life, and understand how to improve the quality of our lives and to welcome such opportunities when the universe is about to undergo major adjustments. That is to say that Chanyuan values are the life and human life norms that must be followed by new people and also show the best ways for us to obtain wisdom because it gathers all the wisdom from throughout human history and continues to carry it forward. Chanyuan values are a treasure chest from which you can take whatever you want. People armed with these values can identify all truth and falsity, leaving demons and ghosts with no places to hide. The values can help to open your eyes to wisdom, Dharma, and Buddha. They are a great melting pot of life. The kind of life quality that you want to obtain depends on your effort and wisdom. Of course, Chanyuan values are also a Pandora's box. Good begets good and evil leads to evil. Chanyuan values seem simple, but they cover many of life's secrets, from solving real-life problems to interpreting life phenomena, from health preservation methods to ways of improving the quality of life and guiding us to improve our understanding in a detailed manner. From understanding the truth of things to interpreting the nature of our lives, its secrets interpret everything organically and combine the material world that we can see, hear, feel, smell, and taste with the non-material world that is beyond conception. They reveal the truth from the manifestation phenomena of life and let us know what the soul and the non-material structure of life are. They also reveal how to know our own spiritual entities, how to connect with other spirits, and how to recognize the relation between us and the spirit of our source, step by step. It seems that Chanyuan values have too much content while also having none at all. What are Chanyuan values? You have to interpret them yourself and use them flexibly. What are Chanyuan values? Do you understand them? Well, I seem to say nothing. 生命禅院内不过生日. Life at Chanyuan celebrates no birthdays. Xiefeng, April 22nd, 2007. Translation edited by Kayer. Celebrating birthdays for babies and the aged is warm, loving, and a pleasant cultural tradition. Therefore, Life at Chanyuan does not object to people celebrating those birthdays. However, when young and middle-aged people celebrate their birthdays, especially in a way that is flashy, it is neither tender nor enjoyable, but becomes vulgar and burdensome. Officials who celebrate their birthdays do so as a form of invisible corruption, and business professionals who celebrate theirs do so to flaunt their success and their invited guests to follow the traditional customs. Life Genuine attempts to make life plain and simple, to simplify benevolence, righteousness, courtesy, wisdom, and credibility, and deepen morality. Therefore, we do not fuss with birthdays by wasting our time, energy, and material resources to satisfy the temporary vanities of our members. If we want to celebrate any birthdays, we should celebrate our births in heaven, the 1,000-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Let us rid ourselves from unnecessary and elaborate formalities. 生命禅院朋而不党. Life Genuine is not an organization. Xiefeng. August 23, 2005. Translation edited by Care. Upon joining an organization, whether a religious, political, or even a criminal one, you lose not only your freedom of life but also the freedom of your soul. When one is in an organization, they cannot speak or act freely, and a person without freedom is much the same as a sheep in the fold. All those who become involved in organizations have distorted minds and imperfect personalities, and the longer they remain in them, the more likely they are to become paranoid. Because of the long-term influence of organizational thinking and behavior, they become tight screws in those organizations and unable to identify themselves. The situation is the same as with tigers being trapped in zoos. As mountains become less familiar, tigers lose their courage to roar atop them and learn to regard the world outside the cage as a prison while the prison is actually within the cage. Actually, joining an organization is gambling with an uncertain future. Joining a political party is gambling with one's destiny, and joining a religious organization is gambling with one's soul. Therefore, all members of political parties and religions are gamblers. They are clever in trifles but irrational and stupid in important things, except for those leaders who climb to the throne after fighting and killing each other off. Life Genuine is totally different from the above organizations because they are only tied by the relationships of being within the same organizations, and the friendships between them are only of the party spirit, while those in Life Genuine are tied by the friendships of wanting to improve themselves and of being good examples for other community members to improve themselves. What brings us together is that we are in resonance with each other, love each other, and share the same ideal and goal. Thus, the relationships among us are those of friends, brothers, sisters, and lovers, and what links us together is not the collective will, but friendships and our worship for the greatest creator. Therefore, Life Genuine focuses on human nature, friendship, giving full play to strength of character, intelligence, truth, kindness, and beauty inside each Chanyuan celestial, with emphasis on the full experience of joy, happiness, and friendship. Religious organizations have rituals and regular gatherings, while Life Genuine has none. Political parties have constitutions and organizational disciplines, while Life Genuine has none. The members of religions and political parties must pay certain fees, while Life Genuine members pay none. Religions and political parties have strict organizational forms, and there are disputes for status and power within them, while there are none in Life Genuine. The positions of all Chanyuan celestials are predestined, lifelong, and cannot be replaced by others. For example, Crane Celestial is the general director of Life Genuine, and he will remain so forever, even if he resigns and ends his participation in the construction of Life Genuine, and even after he leaves this mortal world for the 1,000-year world. Another example is for the 8 positions of Sages of Life Genuine. Once anyone becomes one, they will always remain one. Other positions, such as the Saints of Yin and Yang, the 4 Heavenly Kings, the 8 Masters, the 16 Zens, and several others. All these positions enjoy either lifelong or eternal tenure. They are as stars in the sky. Each has their own unique function and position, and none can be replaced. Religions and political parties protect their own interests, only granting leftovers to outsiders, while Life Genuine maintains the overall interests of everyone. Religions and political parties only recruit devotees, and their doors are only open to those who support them exclusively, while the doors of Life Genuine are open to everyone. Religious followers, partisans, leaders, Democrats with neither party nor religion, and even unemployed vagrants. As long as you are a sage, you are welcome to become a celestial. There are no rules or regulations and no rights or obligations in Life Genuine. People are independent of each other and follow their own inclinations. We celebrate our happiness every day by singing and dancing, but we might not do it for several years when we are under dark clouds. Our causes depend on the driving forces in every celestial's mind, and we are free from any compulsion. Moral courts reside deep within our hearts, which enable us to make self-confessions, self-litigations, and self-judgments without any involvement from others. Xiefeng is only the guide of Life Changyuan, but he is not qualified to command anyone. Changyuan celestials respect him because of his wisdom and friendship, as well as his sincere respect for them, and because of the resonance that we all share deep inside. Xiefeng never imposes his will on any Changyuan celestial who does not accept it. In short, Life Changyuan is not an organization. 生命禅院朋而不党. Life Changyuan is not an organization. Xiefeng. August 23, 2005. Translation edited by Care. Upon joining an organization, whether a religious, political, or even a criminal one, you lose not only your freedom of life but also the freedom of your soul. When one is in an organization, they cannot speak or act freely, and a person without freedom is much the same as a sheep in the fold. All those who become involved in organizations have distorted minds and imperfect personalities, and the longer they remain in them, the more likely they are to become paranoid. Because of the long-term influence of organizational thinking and behavior, they become tight screws in those organizations and unable to identify themselves. The situation is the same as with tigers being trapped in zoos. As mountains become less familiar, tigers lose their courage to roar atop them and learn to regard the world outside the cage as a prison while the prison is actually within the cage. Actually, joining an organization is gambling with an uncertain future, joining a political party is gambling with one's destiny, and joining a religious organization is gambling with one's soul. Therefore, all members of political parties and religions are gamblers. They are clever in trifles but irrational and stupid in important things, except for those leaders who climb to the throne after fighting and killing each other off. Life Changyuan is totally different from the above organizations because they are only tied by the relationships of being within the same organizations, and the friendships between them are only of the party spirit, while those in Life Changyuan are tied by the friendships of wanting to improve themselves and of being good examples for other community members to improve themselves. What brings us together is that we are in resonance with each other, love each other, and share the same ideal and goal. Thus, the relationships among us are those of friends, brothers, sisters, and lovers, and what links us together is not the collective will, but friendships and our worship for the greatest creator. Therefore, Life Changyuan focuses on human nature, friendship, giving full play to strength of character, intelligence, truth, kindness, and beauty inside each Changyuan celestial, with emphasis on the full experience of joy, happiness, and friendship. Religious organizations have rituals and regular gatherings, while Life Changyuan has none. Political parties have constitutions and organizational disciplines, while Life Changyuan has none. The members of religions and political parties must pay certain fees, while Life Changyuan members pay none. Religions and political parties have strict organizational forms, and there are disputes for status and power within them, while there are none in Life Changyuan. The positions of all Changyuan celestials are predestined, lifelong, and cannot be replaced by others. For example, Crane Celestial is the general director of Life Changyuan, and he will remain so forever, even if he resigns and ends his participation in the construction of Life Changyuan, and even after he leaves this mortal world for the 1,000-year world. Another example is for the 8 positions of sages of Life Changyuan. Once anyone becomes one, they will always remain one. Other positions, such as the saints of Yin and Yang, the 4 heavenly kings, the 8 masters, the 16 zens, and several others. All these positions enjoy either lifelong or eternal tenure. They are as stars in the sky. Each has their own unique function and position, and none can be replaced. Religions and political parties protect their own interests, only granting leftovers to outsiders, while Life Changyuan maintains the overall interests of everyone. Religions and political parties only recruit devotees, and their doors are only open to those who support them exclusively, while the doors of Life Changyuan are open to everyone. Religious followers, partisans, leaders, Democrats with neither party nor religion, and even unemployed vagrants. As long as you are a sage, you are welcome to become a celestial. There are no rules or regulations and no rights or obligations in Life Genuine. People are independent of each other and follow their own inclinations. We celebrate our happiness every day by singing and dancing, but we might not do it for several years when we are under dark clouds. Our causes depend on the driving forces in every celestial's mind, and we are free from any compulsion. Moral courts reside deep within our hearts, which enable us to make self-confessions, self-litigations, and self-judgments without any involvement from others. Xiefeng is only the guide of Life Genuine, but he is not qualified to command anyone. Chanyuan celestials respect him because of his wisdom and friendship, as well as his sincere respect for them, and because of the resonance that we all share deep inside. Xiefeng never imposes his will on any Chanyuan celestial who does not accept it. In short, Life Genuine is not an organization. 生命禅院时代的标证 Symbols of the Life Genuine era. Xiefeng. Translation edited by Kair. First, let us understand these 8 characteristics of the era in which we are living. The current era of humanity is one of disorder. It is an era of nationalities, political parties, religions, races, countries, and other interest groups fighting with each other, both overtly and covertly. It is an era of people mostly pursuing material comfort, but ultimately falling apart. It is an era in which the winners make the rules while the losers suffer, with all power flowing from the barrels of guns. It is an era of countries being controlled by separatist regimes through the force of arms. It is an era that is locked in a seesaw struggle between truth, goodness, and beauty, against falsity, evil, and ugliness, with the latter gaining the upper hand. It is an era in which people are confused with gloomy hearts and souls, decadent spirits, anxious minds, and unable to see the trend of future developments. In one sentence, it is an era under Satan's reign. The new Life Genuine era can be characterized by the following 8 major qualities: the disappearance of countries, the disappearance of religions, the disappearance of political parties, the disappearance of families, the disappearance of war, crime, hunger, and disease, a shift from the pursuit of material comfort to that of spiritual satisfaction. The production and life of people everywhere will be steered by saints and managed by sages. Knowledge of the greatest creator will take root in society, and we will live in a harmonious and orderly manner with nature and other advanced lives in the universe. Beyond those, there are these 8 additional features. Deserts will become oases. The orders of "no one will pocket anything found on the ground and doors are not bolted at night" will become normal. People will trust, respect, and love each other mutually as members of a single family. The weather will usually be favorable, with distinct seasons and natural calamities such as earthquakes and storms being greatly reduced. The evil practice of judging human dignity by money, power, and fame will be reversed. The forms of love between men and women will diversify. The lifespans of people will be extended to about half a millennium. The manner and time of one's death will be basically self-determined. This era will be created by the academicians of Life Genuine. In this new era, the human population may decline sharply while countless extinct species reappear. The world, including the air, water, and land, will purify and restore to its pre-human state. This era will belong to those who have devoted painstaking efforts throughout their lives to revering nature, life, the greatest creator, and humanity. The Life Genuine era will last for a millennium, after which time people will enter into another era. People with spiritual senses will certainly perceive the magnitude of this era and will strive for it. People without them will find this statement ridiculous, ignorant, nonsensical, and even whimsical. The arrival of the Life Genuine era will not be altered by anyone's will but is the inevitable evolution of life. It is the law and order of Tao. We will enter into this era if we follow Tao. Otherwise, we will be abandoned by it. We say with certainty that future academicians of Life Genuine will be brilliant and capable. 生命禅院是心灵同频共振者们的乐园. Life Genuine is the wonderland for resonant souls. Xiefeng. October 25, 2008. Translation edited by Kair. By the will of the greatest creator and the guidance and teachings of Jesus Christ, Buddha Sakyamuni, and celestial being Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, ancient and modern sages at home and abroad, and according to the life mode of the thousand-year world of heaven, Life Genuine has been built for harvesting ripe crops, for leaving seeds for next earth human being, and for introducing the Life Genuine era to humankind. The term Chanyuan Celestial refers to those angels and celestial beings who have lived in heaven in a previous life, but have gotten lost in this world and cannot find their ways home, to those who have made achievements in practicing Buddhism, the way of Jesus Christ, or the way of celestial, and to others who are humble and relatively perfect and are pursuing the life of heaven. Chanyuan Celestials are born, not cultivated by short-term education. Xiefeng is looking for Chanyuan Celestials, not creating them. So, Life Genuine is the wonderland for resonant souls, a family full of harmony, auspiciousness, freedom, and happiness. A paradise for those who stick to Life Genuine values. A college to sublimate their quality of life and cultivate supernatural powers, and a transfer station for getting rid of worldly fetters and moving toward the thousand-year world, the 10,000-year world, and the Elysium Celestial Islands continent. Life Genuine is never a place to argue about the truth, an arena for fighting, a platform to show oneself off, a market to sell personal thought, an arena to present personal magic arts and skills. Shanghai Beach, for gaining power, money, fame, or beauty, nor a classroom for showing one's knowledge and ability to teach other Chanyuan Celestials and guests their lessons. It is by no means a place where some are drawn in to squeeze others out, that they might extend their own power. There is no room for discussing and debating here, but only for holding fast to Chanyuan values. If you do not agree with Chanyuan values, you should find a place where you can practice your debating skills. We will not let you talk here, not because we are too autocratic, but because you would be swimming against the tide. Disallowing the promotion of rat poison in a food store is not the fault of the store's manager, but that of the wholesaler for choosing to market it in the wrong place. There are only Chanyuan values in Life Genuine. No other thoughts should exist here. It is unworkable to publicize your own thoughts in Life Genuine because unless they are beyond those of Jesus, Sakyamuni, Lao Tzu, Muhammad, PBUH, Xiefeng, and Chinquan Celestial, your thoughts are not worthy of our learning. You can say anything about praise, encouragement, reciprocal affection, truth, goodness, beauty, love, honesty, and trust freely. You can move freely and quickly on your thoughts of Chanyuan values. If you have any doubts about life, or time and space, do not be afraid to discuss them if you can. If you are in doubt, ask freely, but do not play with your own cleverness, or you will be lifting a rock to drop on your own feet. No matter how many Chanyuan Celestials we have, they are all as one person. Take a look at the first Celestials in the early stage of Life Genuine, alphabetically. Songhai Celestial, Dayform Celestial, Foshan Celestial, Jiaoer Celestial, Penglai Celestial, Chinquan Celestial, Taiji Celestial, Tianshan Celestial, Wanyin Celestial. They were as one person. Could we distinguish among them? These people never held discussion meetings, communicated in private, nor made any offensive or defensive alliances or agreements on offensive and defensive activities. They were not bound to each other and acted as they pleased, but what they did, thought, wished, acted, and presented were as a single individual. Over the last few years, some people have fanned the flames and tried to divide and disintegrate them, but what has happened? They just swung their axes onto their own feet. Fortunately, this state has continuously fermented and expanded, followed by more and more Chanyuan Celestials joining in. They are also like one person. In alphabetical order, they are Ailian Celestial, Songlong Celestial, Dongfang Celestial, Fahai Celestial, Fanxing Celestial. They are just like the formula 1 + 1 + 1 + 1 = 1. These people can share difficulties, share weal and woe, live and die together, and always remain as close as any family. Is this not the factor of a great harmonious world? Is this not the dream of mankind? Is this not the result of practicing according to the teachings of Jesus, Buddha, and Muhammad, PBUH? Is this not the epitome of the thousand-year world and the 10,000-year world of heaven? Is this not the best human expectation? Of course it is. Are there conflicts among these people? Do they argue? Is there any intrigue? Is there any competition or jealousy? None at all. Some have suggested that Life Echanuan has come to an end. However, the fact is not that Life Echanuan has come to an end, but that they have. Some have said that Chanyuan Celestials are cheated by Xiefeng. However, the fact is that they have been fooled by their petty tricks and short-sightedness because any Chanyuan Celestial is hundreds if not thousands of times wiser than them. In today's internet arena with abundant information, who deceives people publicly? They should consider themselves. Some people try painstakingly to awaken Xiefeng and all the Chanyuan Celestials, but they are in fact the ones who are sleeping lethargically, not us. How could they awaken anyone when they are the drowsy ones? They are blind with elusive thoughts and muddled and confused minds. But even if they could, to where would they go next, and to where would they take the people who they awakened? Chanyuan Celestials do not worship Xiefeng as a god, but respect him as an elder brother, as a close friend to whom one can open their heart and communicate with closely, as a friend who can be awakened in the middle of the night to share a drink, and as a playmate with whom you can flirt and tease and pull his nose and ears for entertainment. While those who are fettered by traditional thinking and shackled by religious doctrines raise Xiefeng to the rank of a god whom they can attack, this is of their own imagination. They imagine Xiefeng as a god, then they attack him like Don Quixote attacking the wind as his enemy. This is ridiculous. Worship and respect are not the same. If we take respect as worship, then there will be gods everywhere. It is only your false accusation that Xiefeng's ambition and behavior of initiating Life Echanuan represents a desire to become some international overlord in order to garner power, money, and sex. Bees never compete with flies for food, and cranes never flock with wild ducks. How can a sparrow know the ambition of a swan? How can Leiades guess the wishes of super-celestial beings? In short, Life Echanuan is a home and paradise for resonant souls, and anyone who resonates with Chanyuan values is a member of this home. You can play games, entertain, and travel throughout your lives together with other Chanyuan Celestials. If you cannot resonate with Chanyuan values, then please find a place that you will like. Stop indulging yourself and complaining about people in heaven here. Stop moaning about being ill and saying that no one understands you in Life Echanuan, and stop complaining to others. Life Echanuan's New Year's Day Message, 2006. Xiefeng, December 31st, 2005. Translation edited by Kair. People are marching rapidly and disasters are associated closely with us. We will enter into the year of 2013 in 7 years. It is time to wake up. Tsunamis, earthquakes, hurricanes, and blizzards, mingled with the bird flu and overflowing rivers, are shaking the earth, and an even larger storm will arrive soon. Oh, poor humans. When will you find time to face the greatest creator and pray to him to relieve us from these disasters? People, you can outsmart neither the greatest creator nor death, so you should stop being arrogant and blind. Even if you launch tens of thousands of spacecrafts to monitor nature's changes, and even if all of your 6.5 billion people fought together, you could still not escape this punishment due to your reckless wrongdoings toward nature. I called upon you on New Year's Day last year, but you heeded none of my advice. I am afraid that now it is too late to rein in the precipice. You have been blinded by your self-righteous science and have rested your future on overconfidence. Think it over again. Can you withstand the shaking of mountains? Can you endure the hard times when the sun and moon are not shining? Why can you not pause to look, listen, and think? You should have given first priority to your overall situation, attached necessary importance to everyone's benefits, and known that when nests are overturned, no eggs remain unbroken. Earthworms digging holes in the soil in Japan can cause earthquakes in Europe, and smoke in Madagascar can cause droughts in the Americas. Give up your narrow interests of nationalism, religion, politics, families, and wild ambitions of personal dominance. Instead, pray for mankind and devote your talents and wisdom to everyone's interests. You have painted yourselves into a desperate corner. Everything except for bread, shelter, and clothing is extravagance. Your extra enjoyment depends on the gifts and nursing of Mother Nature. If her blood is drained by you, then how can you survive? You are always hurrying and bustling up blindly. Where on earth are you going? Develop. Speed up. Develop. Speed up. Will the sun not rise tomorrow? Do you really have the ability to settle on Mars? What have the heads of the United Nations and national governments figured out so far? Do they really have the ability to stop these destructive attacks? What do the religious leaders of Christianity, Buddhism, and Islam understand? Do they think there are no problems with their doctrines? Do their religious doctrines never conflict with each other? If they are all correct, then why do they contradict each other? Since there are contradictions, how can any of them be totally correct? Old consciousnesses cannot adapt to the changing new era, just as old leather bags cannot hold fresh wine. While sticking to your own opinions, can you change your thinking and sit calmly to discuss the common future of mankind? Give everyone a way to live. Do not hold up a piece of gold for millions of people to fight for. On basketball courts, a dozen players must fight over one ball. But in real life, you cannot just issue one basketball for everyone. That kind of thinking will only cause suffering and misfortune and lead to disaster and destruction. More than 6 billion people are living in various crises, and the only way to resolve them is from our hearts. There is no other way. The birth of Life Genuine is by no means accidental. Not only is it the inevitable development of human civilization, but it is also the arrangement of the greatest creator. What Life Genuine does is to spread the wisdom of the greatest creator and that knowledge to save mankind. It is never intended to seize the rights of any country, political system, or religion. Life Genuine is not vulgar and low. Now, Life Genuine is the only hope to resolve the contradictions and crises of mankind. With the approaching new year, I hope that various governments and religious groups can accept the values of Life Genuine with open minds and revere the greatest creator, life, and nature in a humble manner, and follow the way of the greatest creator. In this way, the greatest creator might give us a way out and mankind might still have a glimmer of hope through which to escape the disasters. After 2013, mankind will enter the Life Genuine era, and I hope that more will join us. It would be best if all 6.5 billion people would enter the Life Genuine era. The direction is clear. Where do you go? Make your own choice. May everyone have a bright future.
生命禅院兄弟姐妹相处之道
How to get along with each other in Life Genuine. Xiefeng, December 22nd, 2009. Translation edited by Kair. All Chanyuan Celestials have obtained life visas and are the loyal disciples of Jesus Christ, Buddha Shakyamuni, Celestial Lao Tzu, Prophet Muhammad, PBUH, relatives of Xiefeng, the tour guide of Life Genuine, and blessed children of the greatest creator. The relationships between Chanyuan Celestials are as brothers, sisters, relatives, and lovers. All Chanyuan Celestials must love, care for, encourage, and forgive each other. They share common beliefs, common values, common hobbies, and a common future. Among these are having no conflicts of interest, no differences of nobility and lowliness, no quarreling or fighting, and no irreconcilable contradictions. The excellent qualities of Chanyuan Celestials should be reflected first in their relationships with each other. Those who care for and love their brothers and sisters are walking on the way of the greatest creator, adhering to Life Genuine values and respecting the guide. Similarly, those who hurt their brothers and sisters of Life Genuine are deviating from the way of the greatest creator, abandoning our values and hurting the guide. When brothers and sisters encounter difficulties, we must do our best to help them by never turning a blind eye or a deaf ear to them. We must share weal and woe together, and when they are unhappy, we must never gloat or ridicule them, but make them feel loved with warm and passionate words, enlighten them with wise words, let them know that they are not alone, and that we are all with them and care about them. When a brother or sister makes a mistake, we must rally together, not to